The following episode was inspired by a cryptic post Kevin Smith made on July 29th of 2018. He has made no mention of it since, but since we're all massive Kevin Smith fans, we dedicated an episode to it. We hope you enjoy the conversation we had over 2 fingers of Pendleton Canadian-inspired whiskey.
Hey everybody, you're watching. We're watching. They're watching. Somebody's watching.
We're watching.
Gosh, and I've only had a couple sips.
Have another drink.
Nervous drink whiskey. So this is something new we're trying. We're basically doing 2 episodes per 4. A little bit of feedback. I'm not sure if I'm up to our front or something.
That was us.
Anyways, we're doing. If you haven't noticed, we post nerd news every morning at 6 a.m. Pacific. On our Facebook page. Pretty soon we're going to start posting that on our YouTube page as well. But then every other weekly episode, we're going to do a deep dive into one of the stories. So Kevin Smith has been hinting that he has been writing for potentially by far his biggest gig ever. And there's lots of guesses as to who that is. I have my guesses, but we're going to start on that end of the table. And each of you guys make a guess on what you think Kevin Smith's next big gig is, and why.
This is the first time I've heard of it. I know he had his new show that he's been writing on. But
that would be Hollyweed. Yes.
So he's writing for someone big, you said, or
he said that this is going. If the powers that be take his writing, that this is going to be by far the most valuable intellectual property he's ever worked for.
Blunt Man?
Well, no, that's his own creation.
That is it. I don't know.
Yeah, so this is him working for somebody else.
Did Disney get his claws into him? I don't see him ever working for Disney.
Well, I know that, he's a big comic book fan, so if he could get it somewhere in the Marvel DC universe, I'm sure he would love to get his foot in the door there and be the writer on one of those.
Both my guesses are both. That's 2 of my guesses is Marvel.
I really hope Marvel has had much better writers, so DC could really use the help. So I'm really hoping that he can take over some of DC's load. I watched Justice League not that long ago, and it was not an Avengers.
They could use some humor.
Yeah. So if he helps DC out, I would be more than happy.
What's your guesses?
My original hope. Before you told me what you did earlier today, Mark, was that it was going to be a new Jay and Silent Bob reboot, but he's going to be doing that already. That's already on the books. So I don't know what a guess would be, but based on the previous material that I saw from him, like everybody knows him for his comic book stuff. A lot of people know him a lot less for the stuff that I like him for, and that is for movies like Red State and Tusk, which happen to be
his own properties.
Those are his own properties, but I'm hoping that he will make another horror movie with some major intellectual property. That would be very, very cool. That or else, for him to possibly...
But he says it's a major intellectual property, so it's got to be something major. So
I wonder if he's going to be directing some of the Marvel TV shows.
That wouldn't be a bad idea.
Well, he already is director of DC.
Did he do some Supergirl episodes?
He already does
like
Supergirl and Flash.
Yeah.
So here's my guesses. With DC, if you've seen the Shazam preview, I don't know who's seen the Shazam previews, but they were quite humorous. They were quite lighthearted. Not what DC is known for. If you've seen the what's the other one? The Aquaman previews, and I know Becca has seen the Aquaman previews. Like she watches them over and over again. How many? Only 5 times a day? Okay.
And here I figured it would be more like 500.
So they're showing a more lighthearted side, and so I think for that it could very easily he already does the DC TV shows. It could very easily be a DC movie. But the other guess is if you think about a couple weeks ago, we talked about the James Gunn situation. If they try and replace James Gunn for Guardians of the Galaxy 3, they've got to get somebody who is a god among nerds, somebody who is untouchable, somebody that the nerds can't get extremely furious about and knock down. So you think about, okay, how many people are skilled enough to do Guardians of the Galaxy 3? How many people can do the comedy and write that level and are not going to be completely ripped apart by Nerdville for doing it? And that list is extremely small. So it'd be interesting if he got stolen from DC to Marvel and actually was Guardians of the Galaxy.
When did he
Either
break?
one is very possible.
How many days ago did he break this? Is this within a few days?
A week, less than a week ago.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good theory. I like that. If he does Guardians of the Galaxy, that would be very interesting.
So, my question to you fine people is, does anybody else have a guess? Or a reason why either one of those guesses could be... you want to go? Okay.
I did the last one.
So, all right, Mark. So which guess do you have and why?
I've heard no theories whatsoever. I didn't even know Kevin Smith this was happening. But personally, I think he would do an amazing job with a Green Lantern.
I don't know if the glass was dirty
which they
or...
desperately need. It requires a bit of humor because it's kind of a silly power set, but still, like, you have to have that imagination. Plus, he has lots of comic book writing skills. I feel like if anyone I would trust to do that, it might be Kevin Smith to handle such a odd but beloved character. Plus, I think he'd love to do like a one with John the Green.
Now, that's DC as well, isn't it? So that backs up the DC idea, that it could be he could stay within DC because he already works for him, directing Flash and Supergirl. So, but anyways, we're going on the second week in Pendleton. You guys are heavier drinkers than me. I talk too much. But what do you think? Any opinion changes after your second week?
The more I sip on it, the more I sit there and enjoy the flavor. The initial bite was a bite, but as I sip on it more, the more I'm enjoying it more. It doesn't taste so turpentine-y. I'm starting to get the flavors out of it. I enjoy this.
Well, and I will note that so this was a brand new bottle, and yeah, they don't really say you need to breathe them, but there is a difference between when it's straight out of the bottle and having it sit in your glass for a bit and letting it breathe a little. So it's entirely possible that this whiskey doesn't taste the same as it did 10 minutes ago when we first started to,
Because we've let it breathe a little bit.
Right. So it could be improved from that as well.
I would recommend it.
Okay. So, all right. Well, if we can trade these glasses in and grab another one, how are we doing on time? Anybody know? Can somebody yell off the 3 o'clock now? Okay, I think we possibly have enough for one more because we have another event coming to Doggers after this. So, but anyways, this is Nerds Drink Whiskey, and we'll be back next week with another episode. Always sip, never slam.